up, guys? This is Olin from What I'm Listening To. Today, I'm going to be barking at Amoeba today. Now, this time, it's going to be a little different. I decided to try something new. For those of you who are on the What I'm Listening To Facebook, you probably saw that I posted a status asking you, the people, to give me an album that you like. And so, a lot of people responded to that. So I have here a list. All this are albums that were suggested that I go get. So this is like 30-something albums right here. So I'm gonna go on a nice little shopping spree and buy a good amount of those albums, not all of them, because I think that'll just drain me of my money. But I'm gonna buy a good amount of those albums and listen to them and tell y'all what I think of them. And so I'll be back later to show off what I got. And 3, 2, 1, and... Okay, I'm back. So, here we have a wide selection of new stuff. I left with 9 CDs here out of the 30. I actually couldn't find everything. I probably would have left more if I had come across some stuff, but this is a good amount. I only paid $57. I only say $57 because initially it was $70, but I had traded in some CDs, got some credit for that, plus I had a coupon, so that was a bargain. Quite the bargain. So with that being said, let's show off the stuff I got here. First in the pile is a guy by the name of, I'm probably gonna butcher this name, Gogol Bordello. He is a Ukraine punk folk guy. The album is called Trans-Continental Hustle. It was suggested by my good friend Allison, who was with me when I shot for this. She actually came across it and said, this is a great album. So I said, okay, and I threw it in my basket. I was actually surprised to see, but this is produced by Rick Rubin, who produced most of the Red Hot Chili Peppers records and produced all of System of a Down's records. And it is off his label American, so that made it all the more better for me. I was actually listening to this when we were driving home, and the track We're Coming Rougher was amazing. Some top-of-the-line mosh pit music. I'm really excited to hear the rest of this record. So far, it's pretty good.
We're coming rougher every time. We're coming rougher, we're coming rougher. We're coming rougher every time. Hey, 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 hey. We're coming rougher every time.
Speaking of American records and Rick Rubin, this is an album by a band called the Jayhawks. This is the album Rainy Day Music. This album was recommended by actually a regular who comes into the store I work at. He recommended me like 5 or 6 CDs, and this was one of them. I don't know too much about these guys. Then again, I don't know anything much of the stuff in my pile here. He said it was similar to Sun Volt and Jay Farrar and all those guys, so I love those bands to death, so I'm really excited to hear this. And I like the album title. I love rainy day music, so it should be pretty good.
Don't look so sad, Marina. There's another part to play. So sad. Don't look so sad, Marina.
Speaking of which, this album was also recommended by that customer, that regular. This is a Nikko Case album. I couldn't find this anywhere, and I had to actually ask the information desk to find it, and it was classified as country, so I'm actually interested to see. It doesn't look like a traditional country record. I'm guessing this is probably going to be like an alternative country record, which if that's the case, I'm really jazzed about because I love alternative country music. He said that it was a really good record. He loves Nikko Case. This is a phenomenal record, so I'm gonna take his word for it. He loves Sun Volt, loves Wilco, so if it's like any of those bands, then I'm sure I'll dig this.
I was born. Clouds hang on.
I guess this guy had a really big influence on me because I picked up 3 of his records that he recommended out of the 5. But this is a record by a guy named Cooter. It looks like it's a Latin jazz record or some form of Latin music. seeing as all the songs are in Spanish here. I really like this album cover. For whatever reason, it reminds me of the Mars Volta. Doubt it's gonna be as progressive and experimental as the Mars Volta, but I mean, he said it was really good, some really good guitar work in it, and I'm looking at a picture here and it looks like there's like a 12-string guitar on here, so I'm really excited to hear what this sounds like. My dad listened to a lot of Latin jazz music. He plays a lot of Latin jazz music, so he turned me on to the genre, so this should be pretty good. Alright, the next one up is kind of an obscure one. My friend Dina recommended this group to me. This is a band called Marga and the Nuclear So-and-Sos. She didn't even tell me what album to check out. I just picked this one up because first off, it was the only album that they owned by this group. But second off, this cover is really freaking cool. I mean, you can even see that. Look, the Golden Gate Bridge, it's a UFO. I don't know a single thing about this band. I've said that with everything else, but I really don't know a single thing about this group. This is gonna probably catch me off complete surprise, so we'll see how it sounds. I'm hoping that if there's a UFO on there, I'm hoping that there's gonna be spacey stuff involved, and it should be pretty cool.
On my mind, I want you.
And next up here we have a album by a band called Rilo Kileys. I've heard this group. I haven't heard anything by them, but I know this is Jenny Lewis's band. I have a Jenny Lewis record. She's really good. My friend Krista is obsessed with Jenny Lewis and this group. She says she likes all their records, but she recommended this one. So it was only $3, and I was actually really excited to see that because all the other Rilo Kileys albums were like $10 each maybe, and this was like the cheapest one. So it's very cool. I'm really looking forward to hearing this. I don't know too much about this group, so it'll be awesome to discover some new stuff.
And it's bad news, baby, I'm bad news. I'm just bad news, bad news, bad news.
Alright, and the next we have Air. The album's called Moon Safari, which already caught my interest because I really like space music. This album was recommended by my friend Nikko, who is in one of my favorite bands called Trocadero. Check them out if you haven't already. He recommended this album, and I was also watching an episode of Amoeba's What's in My Bag, and the band, I don't even remember what band it was that was showing off what they got, but they got this album too, and they highly recommended it. Figured I better pick this up and check it out. If it is spacey sounding music, then I'm sure I'll dig it. In the electronics section, I managed to get this. This is an M83 record. I actually have another M83 record. I think it's their most recent release. This is one of their older ones. This is called Before the Dawn Heals Us. This actually wasn't recommended by anyone I know. This one was recommended by Odiza. I was watching their What's in My Bag episode, and they pulled up this album, and they played a little clip of one of their songs. I don't remember which one it was, but I loved it. It sounded phenomenal, it sounded epic, and so I really did like that M83 album that I already have, so I figured why not? I'll give this one a shot and see how it sounds. Finally in the pile, this is actually an album that nobody recommended me, but was playing over the speakers at Amoeba. This is Refuse 73. I, once again, don't know a single thing about this group other than hearing what was being played over the speaker. It was just one of those things that I was sort of hearing it and I wasn't fully taking it in, but I really liked what I was hearing. And so finally when I focused on it, I was like, this is really fucking good. So I ran up to the desk because they do this neat thing where they actually show what album they're playing, and it was this record. So I grabbed it. Why the hell not? It has like 3 different album covers too. Before I left, they showed the CD like this, but when I saw it in the selections here, it was like this, so I wasn't even sure, if this was even the correct record, but it's got 3 album covers. It's good music. It's electronic. It's kind of trippy sounding. I'm excited to hear the rest of it. And that does it for me. I'll probably be back at Amoeba sometime either next week or within the next couple weeks, and I'll continue on this list here on stuff I didn't get, because there's definitely a lot of stuff on this list. But until then, this is Olin from What I'm Listening To, signing off.